So we were taking questions on data structure. This is another question. Consider the linear arrays. So this is an array, and there are three arrays: triple A, triple B, triple C. Find the number of elements in each array. 5 to 50. So it seems to be 45. Minus 5 to 10 seems to be somewhat 15, and here CCC 18. Find the number of elements in each array, and suppose base AAA is 300 and W is equal to 4 words per memory cell for AAA. Find the address of AAA 15, that is 300 plus 4 into 15, and likewise. So let us see how to solve it. I hope you got the question. Okay, let us solve it. So what happens here is the value, how we get it. I told you that it is around 45, but it is not 45. Why? This is 46. I told you this is 15, but it is 16, and I told you that this is 18, and it is exactly 18 because it is given as 18. So how it is not 45 but 46? The question is like this: the length will be computed by the upper bound, which is 15, minus lower bound, which is 5 here, plus 1. So length of AAA would be 50 minus 5 plus 1, that will be 46. And in this similar fashion, the length of BBB would be upper bound 10 minus lower bound, that is minus of minus 5 plus 1. So upper bound minus lower bound plus 1, so that will be 16. And what about CCC? The upper bound, this is actually I guess 18. So the upper bound is 18, and consider the lower bound as 1 only. 18 minus 1 plus 1, that will be 18. If it is not given, consider it to be like this: 1 is to 18. Okay, now as I said that the base AA is 300, and then there are 4 words per memory cell. So you have to reach till because what it is saying is the base address, that is, consider the start of the line. This is 300, and it takes 4 words per memory cell, and you have to go to 15. Okay, so you have to go to 15. So how you are able to reach to 15 at this point? 15. So for that, what you are going to do is the basic idea is, let me tell you that what you will be supposing to do is you will multiply this 15 with 4, that will be 60, and you will add 300 with 60, so that will come up to 360. But it is not like that. Okay, let me tell you that what is exactly happening here to find A15, because we are starting from 5, we are not starting from 0. We are starting from 5, so we have to start from 5 and reach till 15. So what will this distance be? This will be 10, and you know that each partition or each level, it takes 4 words per memory cell. So 10 into 40 is what? 10 into 4 is what? 40. So now the base address you can add with 40, and you can reach to 15. So the formula will be the LOC of AAK will be base AAK plus W, that will be 4 words per memory cell, into K minus LB, and LOC of AA 15, that is 300 plus 4, 15 minus 5, that will be 340. Okay, so in this same way, for 35 you will not start with 0 to 35, because it is starting from 5, so it will be 35 minus 5, that will be 30, and then 4 memory words, that is the 30 into 4 is 120. So now 120 will be added to 300, it will be 420. And 55 also, because 55 you will start calculating, but you should not. Why? Because it is given that the length, that the AAA goes from 5 to 50. It will start from 5, it will reach up to 50. So there is no question of finding out A55. Will it be? No. So A55 is not an element of AA, since 55 exceeds our upper level or upper bound, that is 50. Now next question is, consider the following stack of characters, where stack is allocated n is equal to 8 memory cells, and stack is A, C, D, F, K, and these are the empty allocated cell. Describe the stack as the following operation takes place. Okay, so let us consider the stack of characters, which is like this: A, C, D, F, K. So it is like this: A, C, D, F, K. Consider this: A, C, D, F, K. So stack is allocated 8 memory cells. So the memory cells are 8. How many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. 5 are there, 3 are remaining. And these are 3. 1, 2, 3. So pop stack item. What will pop will give? It will give us K. So we'll take K will be popped. K will come here. Pop again. So now the top will be pointing to F. So F will be popped. So it will be F. Then again pop. That will be D. D will be popped. So it will be D. Then push R. So R will, because D has already come, 3 pops have taken place. Now these 3 places are empty. And then we push R. So we are pushing R. Then we are pushing L. So pushing L. I'll write it here. R, then L. Then pushing S. Pushing S. Then pushing P. P. And then popping the item. That will, P will be popped. So let us see the stack operation. It is like this. First it will be A, C, D, F, and then first operation pop. That is K will be taken, which I wrote here. Then stack will be again pop, so F will be gone. Then again pop, so D will be gone. Only say AC is remaining. Then push is there, so R will come. Then push is there, so L will come. Then S will come. Then P will come, and then finally pop means P will be taken out. So only ACRLS will be remaining. So we have just seen the problem of 8 memory cell. When will overflow occur? And when will C be deleted before R? When will overflow occur? When we reach to the C. In this case, if we reach, how the maximum number of which is possible is 8. So we have already reached 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 still are remaining. So if these two pops are there, after that there will be no pop, because that pop will ultimately result in an overflow. And when will C be deleted before R? C be deleted before R. So how can we delete C before R? So let us see the answer. Since stack has been allocated 8 memory cell, overflow will occur when stack contains 8 elements and there is a push operation to add an element. So after all the spaces are being consumed of the stack 1 to 8, if any other push will be there, there will be a overflow. When will C be deleted before R? Since stack is implemented as a stack, it is never possible for us to delete C before R. This is not possible, because as you see, the C is always before, means only the values which are after C can be deleted before R. C can be only deleted before A, right? This is a stack implementation, and hence the answer. Next is translate infix expression into its equivalent postfix operation. So I hope you know that into, and first of all the first preference will be given to the round brackets, then the multiplication, and this will be simply, postfix will be like this. This will give rise to AB minus, this will give rise to what? D, E, and division, and then multiplication. So AB minus D bar and multiplication. Okay. This will be the answer. AB minus this, AB minus D bar means this will come here, AB bar, AB minus, and DE bar, division into. Translate infix expression into equivalent postfix expression. So I hope you will do it by yourself, but I'll tell you the steps. This is A plus B cap D. b cap d, that is exponent of d, divided by e minus f plus g. So first of all, we'll do two things. First, this is in bracket, so ef minus will be there. This is postfix, and first preference will be given to the exponent, so bd exponent, right? And finally, these are right now in your bracket. First, this will be done, bd cap, and with a, so a bd cap plus here. ef minus will remain like this plus g. Now with in this division and plus, division has the precedence. So first division will be computed. So a b d cap plus ef minus, then division will come here, and plus g is there. So g, and finally a plus will be there. A final plus will be there, which will be written here. Okay. So this is the correct answer. Now postfix, I will leave it as an exercise for you. This is how it is done, and these are the steps. And please pause and read this very carefully. Consider the following arithmetic expression written in postfix notation. This is postfix notation. Translate p into infix notation. How can you convert the postfix notation into infix notation? Postfix to infix. So let us translate it into infix. First of all, you have 12, 7 and 3 minus all this. So what we can do here is 12 and 7 and 3. We'll place it like this. But as soon as some operator is there, we'll take the previous two value and put the operator in between here. So it will be 12, 7 minus 3, divide, 2, 1, 5. Now 1, 5 has plus after it. So we'll take 1 and 5 and put plus inside. So first these two combination will be made, 7, 3 minus and then 1, 5 plus. Once these are being made, then we'll see the order of precedence. This is divide. So first this will be done. So 12 divided by 7 minus 3. And then we know that the second is multiplication. So multiplication will be done, 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 5. And then finally addition is remaining. So this addition will be put inside. This is how we can convert from the p to infix expression. Now write an algorithm to traverse a linked list. How we can traverse in a linked list? In a linked list, what happens? If this is a linked list, we have a head, okay, which is pointer, header or start, and we'll do it till we reach the end one, that is, this will be null. So the last node will contain the pointer as null, which is not pointing to anything. So this will be grounded. So repeat these steps till ptr goes to null, reach to null. So we apply some process to the info. Info is this info, given by info ptr. Info is nothing but the data element. We are accessing the data element, and we set link pointer to ptr. So the link of this pointer will be the next pointer. So now pointer will be pointing this to the next node. Then after this line processing of this, the pointer will be pointing to this node. This is how it is going on, and this will be run until we reach null. We reach here. Evaluate this. So how to evaluate? First, we know that we evaluate it using stack. So what happens here is we will place values on stack. First we'll place value 12, and then 7 will come. 7 will be placed on stack. Then 3 will come. 3 will be placed on stack, and then minus will come. We'll not place minus on the stack, but what we will do is we will take out or pop out the previous two elements, that is 7 and 3. So we will place out the result of this. What result is 7 and 3 we have popped out, applied this minus, that is 7 minus 3 is 4, and then we'll push it onto the stack. Now we go ahead. We have divide. So now again we have operator. So 12 and 4. So operator will be operated on 12 and 4. So that will give us certain value, which is 3. So 12 and 4 will be popped out. Division will be applied. The result will be placed on the stack. Now 3 is there. 2 has come. 2 will be placed on the stack. 1 has come. 1 will be placed on the stack. 5 has come. 5 will be placed on the stack. But once we reach 5, after just 5 we are encountered with again an operand. This is operator. So operator will be there. So operator will act on 1 and 5. So as operator will come, the previous 2 will be popped and the operation will be done on this. So 1 and 5, the operation will be done, that is the plus, so the result will be 1 plus 5, this is 6. 6 will be placed on the top of the stack. Then we again come to this operator, that is multiplication. So 6 and 2 will be popped, and 6 and 2 will be multiplied because of this into operator. 6 and 12, 6 and 2 will be 12. So 3 and 12 will come, and then 12 has come. Again we have an operator called plus. So 3 and 12 will be popped and plus will be applied. So 3 and 12 will be 15, and finally the round bracket will be placed. So this is how the evaluation will be done using the stack. List out few of the applications of tree data structure. Tree data structure, the manipulation of arithmetic expressions, symbol table construction, syntax analysis. All these are. There are various application of data structure. You cannot just write 2 or 3. They are immense. What are priority queues? A priority queue is a collection of elements such that each element has been assigned certain priority or precedence. What is the condition to be checked if for the multiplication of 2 matrices? If you want to multiply 2 matrices, M1 into M2, what is the condition you are going to check? The condition is, if the matrices are to be multiplied, the number of columns of first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of second matrix. That means, if the 2 matrices are to be multiplied, then the n into m should be equal to m into q. These two should be equal. Okay. The column of the first matrix should be equal to the rows of the second matrix. Write the syntax of multiplication of matrix. Multiplication. This is the syntax. So we have see three loops. This is for I equal to 0. Then this is actually variable 1. See, we take as variable 1. This is variable 2, and this is variable 3. So this is the multiplication. Just you need to know and you need to understand that here we have variable 1, variable 3, variable 3, variable 2, but here we have variable 1, variable 2. And this is how the multiplication will go on. What is a string? String is a sequence of characters. Okay. String is a string. How? We have S, we have T, we have R, we have I, we have N, and we have G. So these are sequential array of characters which is called as string. What is the use of terminating null character? Null character is used to check the end of the string, like /0. What is an empty string? What do you mean by empty string? A string with 0 character. No character is called the empty string. What are the operations that can be performed on a string? What are the operations that can be performed on a string? There is operation like we can find the length, you can copy the string, you can do the comparison of the string, concatenate the string, find the substring. So all these can be done on a string. What is brute force algorithm? Brute force algorithm. Algorithm which is used to search the content by comparing each element of an array is called the brute force algorithm. What are the limitations of arrays? First of all, array are of fixed size. If you are dealing with values which are there or hold the same position, permanent position always, you will go for arrays, otherwise not. Data elements are stored in contiguous memory location. These are contiguous. They are logically or physically contiguous, and which may not be always the case. You will not get the contiguous memory always. And adding and removing elements is very time consuming or problematic because of shifting the location. These are the limitations of arrays. Now the next is how can you overcome the limitations of array? How you are going to overcome? You can use the linked list data structure, which solves many of the problem of arrays. The only problem with linked list is it is somewhat complicated than the arrays, and the search is only linear. You have to do linear search. Arrays, you can easily retrieve an item with order of 1, that is constant time. Linked list occupies more space. So, but the limitations of arrays can be mitigated by linked list. What is a linked list? Linked list is a data structure which stores some same kind of data element, but not in contiguous or continuous memory location, and size is not also fixed. So the linked lists are logically related. What is the difference between an array and a linked list? The size of the array is fixed as we discussed earlier, whereas the size of linked list is variable. You can vary it, depending upon the number of nodes added or values added or items added, deleted. The size of the linked list will change. In array, the data element are stored in continuous memory location, but in linked list, it is non-continuous memory location, or they are logical related. They can be anywhere in the memory. Addition, removal, and of data is easy in linked list, whereas in arrays it may be complicated, because in array, if you want to delete the middle element, you have to shift all these elements, which is very complex. Complexity is very high. What is a node? The data element of a linked list is called a node. So a node which contains the data element, which is normally known as an info or item, and then PTR, that is next, the pointer to the next node. So this is the node. What does node consist of? Node consists of two things. First is your data field to store the element, and the link field to store the address of the next node. So this is all for today. We'll take more question on this. Thank you so much. Take care.